Okay, I gotta dip out of here. I need to grab my teenage sons and we're gonna go help my sister put together some furniture. But first, I really wanna talk about something because I've been posting a lot of very critical posts on Blue Sky and actually on TikTok and YouTube as well when it comes to the DNC and the Democratic Party in general. I posted a video on my other account on TikTok, and it will also be on YouTube, about how a lot of people are calling for there to be the formation of a third party. And I'm like, that doesn't seem realistic. And actually, within the Democratic Party, there's this big divide, right? There are the establishment Democrats that are run by corporate interest, by foreign interest, by big money, by the super rich, and by folks who have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. And then we have this large contingent of young, energetic progressives, and they're kind of jockeying for power right now. We're seeing this drama in the DNC with Ken Martin and David Hogg, and the more like we want to protect and defend establishment Democrats who are not really standing up to fascism, are not putting forth any kind of concerted resistance whatsoever. Versus David Hogg saying, let's primary those motherfuckers and let's get progressive fighters in office. If folks who are Democrats are not willing to do the work of defending democracy, then they need to go and they need to be replaced. And so I'm very critical of the DNC and of the Democrats, but I'm really, really looking at those establishment Democrats over here who serve, the capitalist machine, who serve their big donors, who serve their own wealth and power. And my frustration that they are not willing to relinquish any of their power and control, even if it means America descends into a fascist dictatorship. But I do try really hard to talk up those progressives in the party who are doing the work, who align with my values, not perfectly, but who I feel understand the assignment when it comes to pushing back against what the Trump regime is doing, but also understands the dream of the working class, understands what America should be about, what a country of, by, and for the people should actually look like. A country where Citizens United no longer dictates how we run our elections. A country where dark money, corporate interest, foreign interest is taken out of our elections, taken out of our government. A country where the billionaires and mega corporations are not screwing all of the rest of us, squeezing every last dollar and life hour out of the working class in order to enrich themselves, and where the disparity between the haves and the have-nots is not ever growing. They understand that we need a future where the American dream is accessible to all of us down here, and those at the top, they pay their fair share of taxes. I want to talk up those members of the Progressive Caucus because it's really easy to shit on establishment Dems like Chuck Schumer because we see them failing over and over and over. We see them failing to meet the moment, failing to lead, and yet clinging on to their vestiges of power. And I know that I make videos where I'm like, look at all these fucking Democrats who continue to vote with this fascist regime. What are they doing? But I'm not giving enough attention to look at this long list of people who said, hell no, we are willing to be the party of no. We are willing to be the party that stands up to fascism. Sorry, I'll be ready in a second. We are willing to be the party that holds the line, that listens to our constituents, that is willing to fight back. It's like we have two different parties. So how can we help them be ascendant, right? These folks need to fade into the background. And how can we help these folks be ascendant? Because they understand the will of the people, they understand the work that needs to be done, and they are willing to do that work. How can we make them the face of the Democratic Party? And how can we make them be the people who are running the Democratic Party? Because we're at this pivotal moment in time where the establishment Democrats, they're not really that distinguishable from your run-of-the-mill Republicans in many ways. That's part of the reason that they cannot capture any approval ratings whatsoever. Democrats have a 22% approval rating. It's unbelievably bad. But also they can't capture the votes and the loyalty and any of that dreams and hopes of working class Americans, because they seem hypocritical and relatively indistinguishable from the other side. And they also keep trying to squish down and suppress the progressive members who do have that compelling message, who do have that vision that aligns with what the people want, who do want to provide a high quality of life for working class Americans. And so I think it's really important that we point out all of the ways that establishment Democrats are failing massively in this moment in time, but that we also put loads of focus on sharing the good work, the concerted efforts that folks on the progressive side of the Democratic Party are doing. We need to be elevating these voices, their message, because it is a message that resonates with the American people. I think voters across the spectrum can rally behind it. Progressive democratic values, those are American values. And I know that establishment Dems make the progressive Dems seem like they're on the fringe. The progressive members in Congress, their caucus is almost 100 members, nearly a quarter of the House of Representatives. They have three main legs to their platform. One is a fair economy. For decades, the wealthy and well-connected have rigged our economic and political systems to benefit themselves, leaving working families with an ever-shrinking share of economic prosperity. As the gulf between the wealthy and everybody else has grown, families have been left with impossible choices: to buy groceries or to put gas in their car, to put their child through college or to save for a secure retirement, to get life-saving medical treatment or to pay their mortgage. In the richest nation on earth, no one should have to make these kind of choices. Amen. That is what I say all of the time. At the Progressive Caucus, we know that what it takes to fix this is a shift in our priorities: to end corporate giveaways and tax loopholes, to take the bloated, wasteful Pentagon budget and rewrite the rules of our rigged economy. Our goals are preserving guaranteed Social Security benefits for all Americans, investing in America to create new jobs in the U.S. by building affordable housing, rebuilding America's schools and physical infrastructure, cleaning up our environment, and providing homeland security, ending poverty wages by waging and indexing the minimum wage, rewriting our broken tax code so that billionaires and big corporations pay their full share. The Progressive Caucus is also for universal health care. Healthcare is a human right, and the failure of the United States to fulfill this basic needs for millions is a stain on our country. Progressive Caucus is fighting to pass Medicare for All to guarantee healthcare for all people in the U.S. It is past time to remove the profit motive from healthcare and to ensure that every person has access to treatment and the care they need. We recognize that the greed of big pharma is a public health crisis with life-threatening implications for millions of families. The third leg of their platform is climate justice. Progressive Caucus strongly supports a Green New Deal to take immediate necessary steps to protect current and future generations from the deadly impacts of climate change. Now, the Green New Deal is something that has been vilified greatly by the right, because polluters, they want to have the ability to freely pollute. And Donald Trump is rolling back environmental protections and policies left and right so that those mega corporations can destroy our health and destroy the planet with impunity in order to massively increase their already bloated profit margin. The climate crisis was created by a broken political and economic system that prioritizes corporate profit over the health and safety of our communities. Absolutely. One of the things I think that people need to understand, and the way the Green New Deal needs to be pitched, as it will make a lot of jobs. This will produce good paying jobs for the economy. This is not some fringe environmentalist. I say this as a fringe environmentalist. This is not some fringe environmental shit. This is good infrastructure. This is good public policy. This is good economic policy. This is good investment in our future. Please go look at who the members are of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. My congresswoman is a member. You'll notice the folks who have been standing up and fighting, their names are on the list. They're all members of the Progressive Caucus. Again, there are nearly 100 members standing up for progressive ideals in Washington. The Progressive Caucus started in 1991 and advocated for progressive policies that prioritize working Americans over corporate interest. The CPC champions policies like comprehensive immigration reform, good-paying jobs, fair trade, universal health care, debt-free college, climate action, and a just foreign policy. The caucus is the leading voice calling for bold and sweeping solutions to an urgent crisis facing this nation, including ending America's broken for-profit healthcare system, raising American wages, eliminating political corruption, supporting the labor movement, and taking action to protect the planet for future generations. Here at the end, I would like to point out one specific member of the Progressive Caucus, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal. She has a resistance lab workshop. You can sign up for it on mobilize.us. The next one is tomorrow morning. I'll be attending. She is doing really good work trying to educate people about what it takes to build a resistance and restore democracy. So shout out to her, and please sign up for her resistance labs. I believe that the next one is just over an hour long. It's well worth your time on a Sunday morning. And if you can't attend live, it will be up on their YouTube later, Resistance Labs. Okay, go check out the Progressive Caucus. I got to go help my sister put together furniture. I'll be back later.